My ex, who left me on our wedding day almost 8 years ago, wants to meet up with me for closure. I found out through my coworker. Not a text, not an email. My coworker. He showed up at the hospital where I work and asked her to pass along the message. Didn't have the nerve to face me himself. Sent his brother, of all people. The same brother who was supposed to be his best man. 8 years. I haven't heard his name in 8 years. I deleted every photo, blocked every number, moved to a different part of the city entirely. I built a whole new life and was finally genuinely happy. New job, new apartment, new everything. I adopted a dog. I started running. I went back to school part-time. I became someone I actually liked. And now he wants closure. We had been together for 4 years. We met in college, dated long distance for a year and a half while I was finishing my nursing degree, and then he proposed on a random Tuesday in my kitchen with a ring he'd been hiding in a box of cereal for 2 weeks. It wasn't some grand gesture. It was just us, in my tiny apartment. And I said yes before he even finished the sentence. The wedding was small. 40 people. His family, my family, a handful of close friends. We planned it for about 18 months. Nothing extravagant. A venue near the water. Flowers I'd chosen myself. A dress I found on sale that still somehow felt perfect. I was not a difficult bride. I was just happy. The morning of the wedding, we followed the tradition of not seeing each other before the ceremony. He kissed me on the cheek at 6 in the morning and said he'd see me at the altar. Those were his exact words. I'd see you at the altar. I did my hair, I did my makeup. My sister and my 2 best friends were with me the whole time, laughing, taking pictures, crying a little. It was exactly what I'd always imagined, completely calm, not nervous at all. I remember thinking that was a good sign, that I wasn't nervous because I was certain. The ceremony was supposed to start at 2 o'clock. At 1:45, his brother knocked on the door of the bridal suite. I thought he was coming to say it was almost time. I thought he was going to tell me my husband was waiting. Instead, he stood in the doorway looking like he was going to be sick, and he said the words I have replayed in my head more times than I can count. He said my ex wasn't coming. He didn't say why. He said he didn't know why. He said he was sorry, and then he left. My sister closed the door. Nobody said anything for almost a full minute. And then I sat down on the floor in my wedding dress, in my perfect makeup, holding my bouquet, and I didn't even cry right away. I just sat there, because I genuinely could not process what had just happened. I never got an explanation. Not that day, not in the weeks after. His family called, his mother called, his brother called again. Nobody had answers. They kept saying he wouldn't talk to them either. Whether that was true or not, I have no idea. But I spent the next 2 years tearing myself apart, trying to figure out what I had done wrong, going over every conversation, every argument, every moment, looking for the thing I must have missed. There was no thing. There was nothing. Eventually, I stopped looking. I went to therapy. I threw myself into work. I made myself get out of bed every single morning, even when I didn't want to. And slowly, over a very long time, I rebuilt. So when my coworker came to find me mid-shift and told me a man had come to the ER asking for me, not a patient, just a man, and handed me a folded piece of paper with a name and a number on it, I stood there for a second just staring at it. It was his brother's handwriting. I recognized it immediately. I didn't even read the whole note. I saw the word closure and I stopped. I didn't cry. I didn't feel that old familiar collapse in my chest. I laughed. Like, genuinely laughed, standing in the middle of a busy emergency room, because the audacity was so enormous it had looped back around to being funny. Closure. He wants closure. I never got closure. I got a knock on a door from his brother and a floor to sit on in a dress I'd saved up for. I got 2 years of therapy and a lot of long, quiet nights wondering what was wrong with me. He doesn't get to decide that 8 years later, when he's ready, is the moment we finally have a conversation. I told my coworker to relay one message. I'm working, this is an emergency room, and if anyone connected to him contacts me again, I will involve a lawyer. I threw the note away and went back to my patients. His brother came back the next day, walked right through those ER doors, asked for me at the front desk, waited in a chair like he had every right to be there, so I called the lawyer. My only regret is that it took me until the second visit.